All set?
All set.
Good evening. Welcome to the March 7th Town of Clifton Park Town Board meeting. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Teresa, you call the roll.
Councilwoman Flood.
Here.
Councilwoman Stander.
Here.
Councilman Morelli.
Here.
Councilwoman Wallwood.
Here.
Supervisor Barrett.
Here, just have a couple of indications and announcements. First, we lost a tremendous individual recently that known to all of us here certainly, and many people around the town, state, and country, and that's Alan Atwell. I have a narrative here I just want to read. I think it sums up a lot of the wonderful things that Alan did in his life. I mean, it's just touches on them, but there's so much more, obviously, that we could get into. But this was the poster when he was elected to the New York State Senate Veterans Hall of Fame. And so this was several years ago. But Alan P. Atwell, PFC, is a past commander and current chaplain of the Clifton Park Half Moon VFW Post 1498. In 1943, at the age of 18, he graduated from Breezeport High School in Chemung County. A few days later, he visited the Selective Service Board and was drafted. He was assigned to the 28th Infantry Division and landed on Omaha Beach in Normandy on Labor Day 1944. Alan earned many military and civic awards and honors, including the Combat Infantry Badge, Bronze Star, Purple Heart, and European Theater of Operations with 4 battle stars. He and 43 other World War II veterans from the Northeast received a French Legion of Honor medal in 2012 and were inducted into the Legion for their help in liberating France from the Nazis. He was knighted on Veterans Day during a ceremony at Lycée Français. Alan is an active member of the Elks Lodge 2466 and the Shenandoah United Methodist Church. He currently serves as president of the Hudson Valley chapter of the Battle of the Bulge Veterans Association, is a photographer for the Jonesville Volunteer Fire Department, and serves as chairman of Clifton Park's Emergency Services Advisory Board. Alan was also instrumental in the rededication of a World War II monument in Garnsey Park. He retired from the New York Telephone Company in 1985 and resides in Clifton Park with his wife Neva. He is the proud father of 5 children. Alan's dedication to veterans, first responders, and everyone in his community, as he was involved in many volunteer activities with various service organizations, and that continued right up to the day he died. And for his service to his country, state, and town, we cannot thank him enough for everything that he has done. Also want to send our condolences to his children, his family. It does mention here he was chairman of our Emergency Service Advisory Board, and he held that position for many years. And it was always an honor to place his name in consideration for that position. So we will miss Alan terribly. Many of us saw him on a regular basis at various events and in organizations. And I don't know what else to say other than he'll just be sorely missed, and we can't thank him enough. We also want to, looking ahead with some great things that young people in our community are doing, and there's many. I want to wish the Shen hockey team all the best this weekend. They're headed to the New York State Championships. One of the players, Nolan Sullivan, had an incredible goal, and the clip actually was awarded. Did you see it, Terry?
Yeah,
Terry's
I did.
nodding,
Top
so-
10. Yeah, I did see it.
Yeah, it was actually, for those that don't know, ESPN has a daily top 10 plays of the day, and it could be, well, usually it's pro or high-level college sports, but they also will take incredible plays from high school and other levels of sports, and his goal was number one of the top 10 plays of the day for that day. So obviously a very rare thing, and even more rare for a local high school athlete. So just want to congratulate Nolan for his stellar play during the playoffs, but certainly the entire team. And they had their first championship since 2014. Now they're on to the state championship, so we wish them well. Any other communications and announcements at this time?
Yes. Excuse me. So our annual cleanup day is at April 23rd from 9 to 12, and our signups will begin tomorrow. If anyone is interested in signing up to clean up one of our parks, trails, roadways, or preserves, they can go to cliftonpark.org and sign up for any of those. We will contact you. We will help assign locations to folks, individuals, groups, businesses, anyone who's interested. We have different levels for different ages and abilities for people to get out there and help clean up our town and get it ready for spring. So again, that is April 23rd from 9 to 12, and registration starts tomorrow.
Very good, and that's it's a great event, great excuse to get outside and visit one of our parks or walk along the trail and help us keep Clifton Park clean. So please join us. Any other communications or announcements? Okay. All right, we'll get down to business. Teresa, we have several resolutions for consideration.
A resolution extending intermunicipal agreements between the town of Clifton Park and the city of Mechanicville and the town of Half Moon respectively for the provision of animal control services. Whereas pursuant to section 119 of the general municipal law of the state of New York, parties are authorized to enter into binding agreements for the cooperative performance of various municipal projects, contracts, and functions. And whereas the local governments recognize the benefit to each of the involved municipalities that arise from the cooperative provision of services to their residents. And whereas resolution number 15 of 2014 authorized an agreement between the town of Half Moon and the town of Clifton Park for shared services in the area of animal control. And whereas Clifton Park and the city of Mechanicville also entered into such an agreement in 2020, whereby Clifton Park will provide on-call and sick vacation coverage for the prospective animal control departments. And whereas Clifton Park has the personnel and equipment to provide on-call and sick vacation coverage for the Half Moon and Mechanicville animal control departments, with an increase in the rate of reimbursement from $35 an hour to $40 an hour. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board approves the adoption of an intermunicipal agreement between the city of Mechanicville and the town of Clifton Park for the provision of animal control services per the attached agreement through December 31st, 2022 at $40 an hour. And be it further resolved that the town board approves the adoption of an intermunicipal agreement between the town of Half Moon and the town of Clifton Park for the provision of animal control services per the attached agreement through December 31st, 2022 at $40 an hour. A resolution scheduling a public hearing on a proposal to amend the town code, chapter 92, to increase dog license fees. Whereas Director of Animal Control Terry Cook has requested that amendments be made to chapter 92 of the town code, and whereas the town board wishes to schedule a public hearing to solicit the views and input from the community on the proposal. Now therefore be it resolved that a public hearing will be held on March 21st, 2022 at 7:05 p.m. on a proposal to adjust dog license fees per the attached draft legislation, and be it further resolved that the town clerk is directed to publish appropriate notice of the same. A resolution appointing Heather Schultz provisionally as an account clerk typist in the comptroller's office pending civil service certification. Whereas an opening exists for an account clerk typist in the comptroller's office, and whereas Mark Hagan, comptroller, has interviewed Ms. Schultz and wishes to hire Ms. Schultz provisionally as an account clerk typist, grade 4, step 1, year 1, to be paid $25.29 an hour. Now therefore be it resolved that Heather Schultz, 1210 London Square, Clifton Park, is hereby appointed as account clerk typist for the town of Clifton Park, effective immediately and pending civil service certification. And be it further resolved that the comptroller is authorized to transfer $36,000 from general fund comptroller account clerk to general fund comptroller employee. A resolution appointing Catherine Todkin provisionally as a payroll clerk in the comptroller's office pending civil service certification. Whereas an opening exists for a payroll clerk in the comptroller's office, and whereas Mark Hagan, comptroller, has interviewed Ms. Todkin and wishes to hire Ms. Todkin provisionally as a payroll clerk, grade 6, step 1, year 1, to be paid $28.38 an hour. Now therefore be it resolved that Catherine Todkin, 2 Marlborough Drive, Clifton Park, is hereby appointed as payroll clerk for the town of Clifton Park, effective immediately and pending civil service certification. And be it further resolved that the comptroller is authorized to transfer $40,700 from general fund comptroller payroll clerk to the general fund comptroller employee. A resolution approving the 2022 salary matrices for summer recreation employees. Whereas the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs has requested that rates of pay be adopted for 2022 summer recreation staff matrices per Schedule A, day camps, Schedule B, pool, lifeguard, WSI, and Schedule C, golf course. And whereas the supervisor wishes to maintain pay rate increases similar across all seasonal recreational employees, now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby adopts the 2022 salary matrices for summer recreation employees, staff, per Schedules A, B, and C attached.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. Any questions on the resolutions? Okay. You can read the headings, Teresa, please.
Resolution number 61 of 2022, a resolution extending intermunicipal agreements between the town of Clifton Park and the city of Mechanicsville and the town of Half Moon, respectively, for the provision of animal control services.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's on the table. Terry, could you come up and just give us a quick update on give us a quick update on how this relationship is going, please?
Sure, I'd love to.
With a smile, too.
Yeah, smile when you say that.
We've been involved with Half Moon for probably 5 or 6, 7 years even, and it's gone well. Especially lately, their animal control, they only have 1 animal control officer. We have 1 full-time and we have 2 part-time. So she's needed a lot of days off the last couple of weeks. Her husband's been ill, and it's worked well. They follow pretty much the same codes that we do, and it's been very successful. We seem to be able to balance it very well. The Gantville we did last summer, he was out for 8 weeks for a hip replacement, and that's a different place to work. Mechanicsville is different than Clifton Park, that's for sure. Whole new set of people. But every time we go, it's an experience. It's a chance to improve what we do. So it's worked well.
Yeah, and you've been able to fit it into the rest of your responsibilities pretty well, right? And you know, we of course want to help a partner community whenever we can.
Yep.
So this is and we've been able to keep the price at the same level for a while, but with rising costs such as they are, $5 increase that we didn't think would be, over the top. It should also be noted that town of Half Moon also pays mileage for
Both
the
of them,
federal
yeah.
government. Yeah, federal government establishes a mileage reimbursement rate at the beginning of each year, and that's what we've been using. So that's been that's been working well too, right? Okay, any questions for Terry? on,
And you have a great
this?
relationship with law enforcement. When you're Mechanicville, which goes over, I think, into like Stillwater, sometimes I think that you're called one. Are your relationships still with the sheriff, or is Mechanicville has its own police?
They have their own PD, but they have been very helpful. I think because we respond quickly, they also respond quickly, and I think they have somebody to rely on. They have a part-time animal control officer when he's available, so they don't always get the support they need, but when we cover, they call and we respond very quickly, so.
The expansion of your staff and has.
Yes, it helps, and even our law, the sheriffs and the troopers, we seem to work with them several times a week, and they've been great. I can't complain. They've been very supportive.
Good. Well, thank you. I'm
Stay there.
very happy this agreement's working out, and obviously, if anything comes up that is a concern with this, just let us know. But so far, so good.
Great.
I know Half Moon appreciates it very much.
Yeah, Kevin's been a big support. He
Yeah.
really has.
Yeah, and they say very good things about you and the department and what you're doing. Yeah. All right.
Okay,
Sure.
Other resolutions.
should I wait for that resolution? You want to talk about that too? The license?
Sure, why not?
Yes.
What's next?
Well, you're
We'll
gonna
talk about
raise.
number 2 while you're up there.
Yeah, they're gonna raise, so you're raising the license. I think that's more than appropriate, for the county, that we were the lowest and have been the lowest for years. Postage keeps going up. We send quite a few reminders and, to encourage people to license their animals. So, I think that was just a natural step, was to go along with the increase of everything else that we have.
It's been since 1945.
Oh, just the other day.
Yep, wow.
So $3?
That's all?
It's been $3.
It's $3.50.
And 11.50.
Yeah,
Yes.
and $1 of that goes to the New York State Population
So,
Fund.
yeah.
So technically, for $2.50, you
Yeah,
license
like
your
it.
dog. So,
Bargain. Gotta get more
oh yeah, it's a real deal. Get some more dogs, please.
All kinds of breeds.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Any discussion on the first resolution with the agreement? Yeah, the agreement with mechanic. I'm sorry, with Hackman.
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waller?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 62 of 2022, a resolution scheduling a public hearing on a proposal to amend the town's code, chapter 92, to increase dog license fees.
So moved.
Second.
Items on the table. Discussion? Okay.
Councilwoman Flood?
Yep.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waller?
Yeah.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 63 of 2022, a resolution appointing Heather Schultz provisionally as an account clerk typist in the comptroller's office pending civil service certification.
So
Second?
Okay. Hi, Heather. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good to see you. Heather has a very good background, especially for a position like this where attention to detail is so important. And based on her work history, we have every reason to believe that this type of daily task in this position will be a very good connection to what she's done in the past and what her skills are. It's a very important position. Somebody that's paying the bills. A lot of people do find that very important, especially the ones getting the payments. And like I said, it's a lot of attention to detail and intricate work. So we know you're going to do a great job and appreciate you coming forward.
Yes, thank you.
You bet. Any discussion? Okay, Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waller?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 64 of 2022, a resolution appointing Catherine Topkin provisionally as a payroll clerk in the comptroller's office pending civil service certification.
So moved. Second?
Okay, motion's on the table. And talk about a job that a lot of people find important, especially around here, payroll clerk. And again, it's a very important job and a lot of detailed work. So again, it's the attention to detail. Certainly, that's a hallmark of the controller's office. And we've had some change in the department recently, but this should get us back to full complement. We had a retirement from Lori Luce, and then we had a retirement in Buildings and Grounds, and Reagan moved to the Buildings and Grounds position. So that created two openings in the controller's office. So anything you'd like to say, Mark?
No, I just want to thank both of the previous women in my office, and I look forward to these two new women in the office to helping and getting the work out. So.
Very good. So again, Kathy, we know you'll assimilate quickly to this position based on your experience. I think it's fits very nicely with what the skill set that's needed in this position. And again, we know you'll do a fantastic job. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Discussion. Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 65 of 2022, a resolution approving the 2022 salary matrices for summer recreation employees.
So moved.
Second.
All right. The motion's on the table. So these the matrices here are, if you see year over year, another significant jump in the salaries for our seasonal employees. We have many that work the day camps and pools and many other activities and programs of the town. And there was another increase in the minimum wage, and we are keeping pace. So
What is the minimum wage? I don't even know.
13.20.
The minimum wage is $13.20.
Yeah. Quite a bit higher than it was 5 years ago. Yeah, so it's gone up each year. So this is a large jump, and if you consider where these salaries were, say, 5 years ago, compared to what they are now, it's big difference. Discussion.
It's exciting to be talking about pools and golf.
Yeah, again, yesterday certainly felt like it. So hopefully we'll get a few more of those days coming up. Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes. Any other business to come before the board? I do have one item. I asked Dan to get some information together. We've been talking about one item. So Dan, if you have that information, and it just relates to our welcome signs. We have. You like that?
Thank you.
Yes, every time I see it, it's like,
Yeah, so the one at exit 9 is in good condition. However, 10 and 8 have suffered some damage recently and aren't looking so great. The Town of Clifton Park sign is still there, so we did leave them up, and we want to wait till we get into spring anyway before we do anything. But what Dan accumulated were some pictures of the current signs, and you can see the issues that we're having. It's not a good look for the town. And then a couple of possible options for new signs. So the one at exit 10, that was paid for by Stewart's. That was
Yes, it
quite a
was.
few years ago now.
Probably close to 20 years ago when they went in over in Rexford area.
Yeah, that
And,
was.
we moved it from there to exit 10.
Yeah, that was quite a while ago. So And I'm not even sure that spot is a great location for a sign any longer. But that's another discussion we can have. So Dan, why don't you go through the information that you've accumulated? Appreciate you doing that.
Sure, so this picture on the top bar, this is exit 10 sign right there.
Yeah.
You can see the welcome to banner is gone. It fell off and broke in about 3 pieces. If you look in the corner of the sign, you can see it's kind of falling apart. This is the other arch. The second picture is from exit 8, and that fell off and was all rotten. The third picture is a close-up of how rotten the wood was underneath there. And so that's why it fell off, and there's just absolutely no way to put it back on. So those 2 signs are both missing pieces. And the fourth one is the one at exit 9, which is in the best shape. It's probably was replaced once, I think. So that one's in fairly solid shape, but still, it's not far behind the others. There's a lot of rot there, and it's starting to come apart.
It's the furthest from the road, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's the least amount of effects
That
of
helps,
being close to the road.
Yeah.
You know.
So we reached out to a couple of our sign people that we've dealt with before. So the first design is from AJ Sign Company. It's a pretty substantial sign. It's quite a bit bigger than what we currently have. About double the size actually, with these big pillars. And I had asked him to go close to what we have, but this is what he came up with. And tried to go to a little more of a modern look instead of this is more like a 1970s look. I think the old one. Trying to get into 2020s kind of idea.
Yeah.
So this is what he came up with, and there's a budget number of about $19,455 a piece. That's not a hard number, that's a budget number. So,
Yeah, I just asked for a ballpark number. I didn't want them to submit prices as if it was a bid yet,
Yeah.
but just to get a ballpark.
and the second sign that we have here is from Vital Sign. It's their design, and we have 3 different versions of it. The first one they came back with just said Clifton Park, New York, and then we have to do Saratoga County, NY. And I thought, well, let's spell them both out. So the one on the top says Saratoga County, New York. It's a little different. It's got the established date on it. It's a nice big, also a substantial rock base. So that would be pretty solid and won't have to be replaced down the road, I wouldn't imagine. Maybe the sign part later, but you could just put that in place in that new one. So you would never have to replace the entire structure all over again. And that one came in quite a bit less. Is also just a budget number, certainly not a hard number, $11,395.
Yeah. Yeah, and the idea was to take a look at some options that include a solid stone base, something that will last for a lengthy period of time. So, the hope would be that base would last for a long time. We'd certainly have to replace the sign before the base, but in either case, it'll last for a very long time. So that those were a couple ideas that we came up with, a little more modern, I guess you could say, a little sleek, a little more professional.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
This kind of reflects Clifton Park a little bit more. I think very professional community, so having a sign like that I think fits in well. It's a nice design. I really like the Vital Sign one myself. That's my personal opinion with it fully spelled out. Saratoga County, New York.
Yeah.
Things like that
I
too.
like the one though that says the town of Clifton Park.
Mhm.
Yeah, it says welcome to.
Welcome to Clifton
So we
Park,
could-
I like town.
Oh, yeah, we could definitely do
Yeah.
that, town up,
Sure.
sure, instead of welcome to you.
Right,
Yeah, I
or
like that.
welcome to town of.
Yeah, I think we could just take out the welcome to and put town up,
Yeah.
Yeah, and including Saratoga County, New York in there, established 1828, a little different than what we have now, but I think it's descriptive in a professional manner. So I agree
Certainly
with you.
could tweak it with those little adjustments and get a proof if you want to look at it like that to help.
Yeah, I would say town of,
Yeah.
as opposed to welcome to, if that's
Sure.
agreeable with the board. So take a look. It's nothing we're looking to purchase tomorrow, but as spring comes and it gets to the season where we can remove what's there and install something different, that time will be approaching. So I wanted to at least get the conversation started and take a look at a couple of options.
How long does it take to build the signs or to have them ready for?
I would imagine something like this is gonna be at least a month lead time. Let's say you would award a bid, it would take them that long. And I would say too that, this is, I have to go to a sealed bid for these three at once, based on these budget numbers. But, buildings and grounds, we can do all the removal and all the prep work, which would save a lot of money. So if it was awarded, we could get out there and start tearing the old stuff out and getting it prepped for the new one. And then probably by the time that's done, the new signs could start, maybe do one at a time. So if we get there, then once they start building it, we can move to the next one, take that one out, so we're not missing all three at once.
Yeah.
Just a thought, right?
Well, what do you think of that location at exit 10?
I don't think it's a great location either. It's really kind of pain there to maintain. Maybe relocating a little farther down Rushers Road or something might be better. I don't know. Right there in that corner is tough.
Yeah.
It certainly is. You know, the other two are right off the northway, so that's kind of why it got put there. But yeah, it's not easy to maintain it for us. It's kind of hard to see.
Yes, sir. See that.
There's no power over there, so you really don't have good lighting.
I was trying to think of a place, on the other side of the bridge coming from Route 9, but
Would you have lights on them?
Oh, these
Do you like
spots all have lights
spotlights?
currently.
Solar?
The two of them have solar and X9 has electric service.
well, we'll continue to consider locations as well.
Sure.
And,
I'll get a proof that says town of and send it out to
Yeah.
everybody. Once
yeah, if you could,
that way we can all just see it instead of imagining it.
yeah, and it's, and I like the fact that, the other type, and there's only so many, options to choose from. The other option, I was surprised it was a lot more expensive. But there's just a little bit of brick at the base. And it would seem to me that there's more material there that could be damaged.
Yeah.
Gavin?
There's more wood, for sure, that would easily damage, I think. And it's a lot wider, so you'd have to maybe alter our situation, especially exit 8. That's kind of cramped with the guardrail.
Yeah,
And then at exit 9, the new flagpole with the Eagle Scout put in and stuff, you might be infringing being that big.
mhm,
It also could be a problem. Yeah, that thing is 200 inches wide. Pretty big sign.
I think we'd have to make it smaller.
Yeah, you have to shrink it down, and it probably wouldn't have that same look if you did
I
it.
like the look.
You kind of look like a toy, I think, if you shrink it down too much. That's my opinion.
Well, I thank you for putting that together, and, if you could, make that one change and, send it out,
We'll do.
okay?
Thanks.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to public privilege. If you'd like to speak on a town matter, please raise your hand. We'll ask that you come forward, state your name and address for the record, and please keep it to 5 minutes or less. Yes, Joanne, all right,
You want me up there?
please,
Okay.
might as well make it official.
I am Joanne Combs, and I am representing the Green Communities Night and myself as a citizen. And I come to you today because we've been studying road salt and too much of it. And so, we thought it was a matter of just reducing it, or maybe switching out, doing some brine. So what we did is we researched it, and we scheduled meetings and actually went up to Lake George in September of last year because they actually are using brine and they've been successful. So we learned quite a bit. And it's not that easy. It's not just applying brine and not the salt. So now we kind of understand the full ramifications of how difficult it really is to maintain safe roads using minimal amount of salt. And the remedy really goes down to mechanical means, which is using the blade properly, using brine, and and the electronics that are on board, so that when you are dispensing the salt, you have control over how much you do. Right now, they have very old systems where it's attached to gear, and as the gear shifts, it just starts spreading full speed ahead. So they get these big mounds of salt at stop signs, and this is the stuff that really gets hurts me, But now I understand why.
Gears.
Huh?
It grinds your gears?
It grinds my gears, yes, that's a good way to put it. So, there's some reasons why this concerns us. It has to do with a waste. In research we found, and I kind of knew this because I taught biology, it's fatal to amphibians and wildlife. It can sink into groundwater and contaminate drinking water, so people that have wells, and even our own water wells from the water authority, could be contaminated. So we're trying to protect our drinking water. Vegetation too, it prohibits the uptake of water, so on roots, and so it hurts vegetation. And it also is really tough on vehicles, cracks pavements, rusting bridges, just kind of gets the corrosive process going faster. And even when you're walking, it's tough on like your shoes, breaks down the soles, and poor pets that have to walk on it. So I think you got my drift. It can be too much of anything is not good. So now I've been working just talking to the highway department, and I see they have an opportunity to actually purchase some new trucks, which will mitigate this. And I think it's a really important step for that reason, as well as just improving our efficiency all around, the vehicles, manpower. I can see a lot of benefit. So I wanted to just make you aware of the full benefit of these vehicles and how upgrading our vehicle fleet. I'm not even asking you to go electric here, remember that?
Oh, come on, you haven't given up on that, have you?
Well, I haven't,
Oh,
but
right.
maybe not this time. And, I did want to mention, and I'm glad Dan's here, because it kind of spilled over to buildings and grounds too, the salt, excessive salt, because I happen to have a path behind my house, so I love to walk, and it was just lots of salt. Well, it was last week, we had a big storm, and that Friday they came through with a new machine, and it was crystal clear, perfect, and not a speck of salt. And that night, my husband and I took a moonlit walk, safely without any ice, with this new, and I think it's a snowblower.
It is, yep.
Now that shows you when you buy the right materials and you have the right equipment, what you can do. So I think that's great. And I was thinking it was something to do with some pictures I sent you, but he had ordered it back in September, so I had nothing to do with that. But
We'll
anyhow,
give you credit.
no, it's okay. So anyhow, I hope I'm making my point that, this purchase is really, really important. And I would like to see it go forward. We have a new highway building coming up, which will be great. It'll house them, it'll protect them, it'll care. And I have to say, meeting the highway department has been a joy. They're a great bunch of guys. They're really skilled at what they do. They are keeping those old trucks going now. And I admire, all the work and love they put into these trucks to keep them going. But I think it's time for some new equipment. Trying to think what else I had to tell you. Oh yeah, some good news, because we did apply for the EV grant for community campaigns for clean energy community, and we were awarded another $5,000. So that's good news. Bad news, we didn't get that stretch code. You gotta throw that out there. But we're working on other stuff. We're going to hopefully make another $10,000 in grant money through that program, and if we can even get more points, the potential's at 125,000. But it depends on how many points we do. So the trucks would actually give us a couple of points, but that's not really what it's all about. It's really just making sure that, where am I finding that? Kind to the environment and, working efficiently. So, any questions?
Very good. Well, you're on a roll. I didn't want to.
No, I don't want to get my time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joey.
Appreciate it. Darlene, did you, yes?
Yeah.
You came all this way after all.
Well, I wanted to let her start. She started after my speech.
There you go.
Good, Darlene McGraw, I live at 4 North Point in Half Moon, sorry, I don't get to live here, quote
That's
unquote.
okay.
I actually do, because I live in 12065, so I sort of do, half. Okay. I wanted to, first of all, get started thanking both Highway and Parks and Grounds Department, so thank you. Kudos. I've been having trouble getting around certain places, locations throughout the whole Capital District at times during winter times. And the town of Clifton Park has been doing a spectacular job. And if I have any concerns, I just either call or talk to you guys here, send an email. And before I even have time to get back to that location, and I'm quick, but before I even have time to get back to that darn location, you guys have it all cleaned up.
Good.
Before I even have time to get back. So thank you guys so much for doing that. And I didn't know if the cleanup day was just for quote unquote voting residents of Clifton Park, or if it's for everybody that wants to help clean up.
Anybody?
Love to have you, Darlene.
And also the Chick-fil-A craze that we're supposed to be having. First of all, I don't support big businesses. Sorry if that offends anybody, but too bad. And I support small local businesses. And I have been told by my doctors, public health is a priority. Well, it's also a priority of not getting fat and obese. And walking places is also part of a priority, and walking there safely. I walk all the time, and I walk during the daytime. And I walk during the daytime with my vest, with flashlights lit up like a darn shining star, brighter than the darn sun. And Saturday, I had a state trooper that was not on an emergency call to my knowledge, because he had no lights, no sirens on. He did not even stop for me at the crosswalk on exit 9, the one closest to where that Chick-fil-A would be going. Those cars, I don't have like a speedometer thing there on me, but if I did, they sure as hell don't go 25 miles an hour. And if they don't slow down and stop for me, I mean, they're not going to stop for no fake wannabe, sign or stand-up sign. So maybe we need to have a law enforcement officer physically there. Park their car somewhere else and have them stand and have another car be somewhere close by. They need to be there. The mere presence of them being there, the halo effect of an officer being there, is key priority. And this has nothing to do necessarily with Chick-fil-A, but with them being there, with that new business going to be there, especially with a drive-through. It doesn't make it any safer. And I'm asking the board and anybody that works for this town, please contact me. I'll give you my contact information if you don't have it. Contact me. Let's come out for a walk. We'll take a walk just around the area by the mall and exit 9. And then you guys can see different parts that I'm talking about. See with your very own eyes when you're walking. See how dangerous it is. And we'll go on a day when it's nice, not like this. We'll go on a nice sunny day. And I'll even take you out for Stewart's ice cream at the end, so we can support our local small businesses.
Wow. All right.
So, thank you.
That's a very attractive offer, Darlene.
On those
But I don't want you walking back home tonight.
The application is a computer.
I'll be out there. Sir, did you
State of Colorado, my son works in it. They,
Joanne?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was trying to get this gentleman's attention.
Oh.
How you doing, sir?
We're having a little conference here.
Yeah. Sidebar. Sir, did you want to speak?
Do you have something you would like to say, sir? No, he's
Okay.
just observing.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Very good.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Councilwoman Flood? Yes. Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes, thank you.
I don't know what they do. I don't know what they are.